Hello, I am making this video because I'm a young man and my country is under attack. It's under siege right now in so many different areas. Not in a typical siege. You think that we're under attack militarily when you think of that. Or maybe you're aware that we're under attack psychologically. On all fronts right now, our people are being destroyed. Our country in the United States is being destroyed. And what's so horrible about that, and, there are so many people saying that this isn't true, is that this nation was made to be the closest thing to heaven. And at 1776, they knew that they were creating a country that was serving God. And we've fallen away from that. And whatever your political affiliation is, whatever your religious affiliation is, we have to come to the conclusion that this country is under attack. And if you don't recognize that it's sinister forces of evil that have corrupted people to attack, I would argue that your eyes need opened. These people would not be doing what they were doing if they were not being deceived and tricked by sinister forces. And this is a plot to turn this country into the most controlling destroyer on the planet. And I'm 20 years old. In my lifetime, we've been in wars overseas in the Middle East, and that has been clear to me that it perpetuates the money machine. There's corruption all over the political landscape. There's corruption in the education system. There's corruption in our healthcare now. Major areas of our civilization are under complete siege. And it's a plot. And I say it's a plot because it's not a plan. God has a plan, and his chosen people, all of his people who recognize him, who come to him as their refuge. He is our refuge. We're going to be okay. There is not going to be a moment that it appears as though God is going to lose to the eyes of a believer. And it's important to know that in these coming times. There are going to be times where it's going to seem like, oh, it's all over. It's all over. Because unless these people, these strong people of the United States, actually get together, unite, and start acting like our forefathers acted, we're going to see ourselves in what appears to be an unsurmountable opposition. It already appears that way to some people. The justice system is now a system of injustice, one of the areas that our nation is under siege in. And our country is dying for the children of God to be made manifest. We have to assume the responsibilities that we can in all areas of our life in order to make this impact. Because if we don't, that responsibility is going to be taken up by, you guessed it, people who are under the trickery, the deception of these sinister evil forces It's Satan. Satan is trying to destroy America and all of the world, all of the people, all of God's creation. And that's the plot right now. And there is a way. There is a way. Is the way. The guidance that the Holy Spirit brought our forefathers is what created our nation. Without that, America would suck. And that's where we're headed. Plain and simple. And, if we don't wake up to that fact, I'm okay. There's nothing that I could really say or do differently to argue that we deserve to be in a better place. And I'm not saying that you don't deserve anything good to happen in your life if you're not a believer in Jesus Christ. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that there are some people who are dying for the truth. And this world is dying for the people who already know the truth to assume the dominion and authority that Jesus has already given them. It's the scariest thing to the enemy when a child of God, a believer, knows that he is walking next to Jesus Christ. And you say no. These people say no to Satan. And we need to unite this country. We need to come together. Really, it started, to me, in my opinion, as the common people, right? We're relying on political figures nowadays to do our work for us. And I can't comprehend why. It's like we're afraid. And maybe we are. But there's nothing good that's going to come out of being afraid of standing up for the country. Standing up for what we know is right, our inalienable rights, the God-given freedom. And there's a couple of ways, in my opinion, of how we, as a nation, can start to eliminate this coup, this sinister coup that they are trying to execute. They are. And it's deception. It's all deception. There's the level of responsibility that each and every one of us can take. And that becomes our mental life, our physical life, our spiritual life, our emotional life. We have to be firing and healthy on all cylinders. Because when the time calls and we're not ready for that time to stand up and fight for our inalienable rights, and again, I don't necessarily mean like physical fight. I mean, be creative. Use the imagination that God has given you to do great things to inspire people. It's sad to know that 75% of my country is obese. And the physical health of our nation is directly related with the poisonous stuff they put in our food. These companies put garbage. My grandma, she's 95 years old. She, bless her heart, she drinks this cappuccino mix. And it's $5 at the store. I couldn't believe it. It's garbage, right? If I took it and I tried to go work out, I wouldn't make it through my workout. I'd get a cramp, right? I couldn't do it. There's something seriously wrong with all of the food. And we have to do our research and understand how we can better ourselves so that we can be ready. Or else, I can't tell you how clearly I see that in these next couple of years it's going to be so pivotal for us to start getting our act seriously together. We have to step up in our responsibility politically, socially, in our communities. All of it. Make the change, any positive change. It doesn't matter what the change is. Because the children of God are going to be successful at whatever they put their hands to. Media, law, health and food, wellness, political landscape, healthcare. We need God's people to assume their responsibility, to exercise their rights. We can't just let it all go. I mean, and there's always going to be a place, a refuge for God's people. But this nation, I can't imagine what it would be like if I didn't grow up in the United States of America. I've always felt safe in a lot of ways. I've never felt threatened, really. Not to a mass extent. I've never thought, well, somebody could really destroy my country. No, this country's destroying itself right now. We're allowing it to happen. It breaks my heart. I want my children to live here. I want my children to have a free place. They will have a free place to live. They will have a free land that they're going to inherit. They will not be born into slavery. They will not be born into bondage. There are so many people today who are living in psychological and physical bondage. And we, as a society, we're not united. We're individualistic. And there's power to that. There's power to that. But the children of God need to become leaders. They need to grow our nation to become powerful. There's a lot of things that it appears as though the enemy is getting away with, but nobody gets away with anything. The lies and the deception in the media, the illegal persecutions, throwing people in jail without a trial, false elections. If we really put our heads together and we really communicate and we really understand our role, we can ensure that our country is never taken by these evil, sinister forces that are put in power right now. I don't know how they got there. Look, I've never voted before in my life. I have no idea how these people got there. But when you think about how powerful this nation is, all of these millions of people in here, and we still have issues today. We're making up issues and ignoring the real issues. There's a real issue of human trafficking, for example. Millions and millions of people, children, are being sexually abused, raped, and, we're not organized enough to do anything about it. There's people in our government who don't give that conversation the light of day because they are controlled and tricked by sinister forces. I can't imagine what the bribe must have been. How it's at all clear that these people are going to win. in their own kingdom or the kingdom that these evil, sinister forces have offered them. The whole world. What do they inherit? They're walking themselves off of a cliff, and they're trying to take as many people off with them right now. That's how I see a lot of our leaders. Very deceptive. And because we have so many luxuries, so many riches, so many spoils, we don't have a reason a lot of the times in our day-to-day lives to consider all of these issues. Why would we? We don't need to think about all of this chaos that's happening around us when we could, watch a movie, hang out with friends, eat tasty food, all of these enjoyable things. And yeah, I agree, there's a time to do that. And it's so valuable to enjoy your life. But at what cost? Because there are people who could very well as easily just have been you. You could have been born in their body. But you weren't. And these people are suffering immensely. And this country has the power to do something about it. To seriously stand up for our rights and for the rights of others. We need to protect the children of this world from being sexually trafficked. And all of the people, women, and I don't know if they're men, I don't know. But vulnerable people in vulnerable areas. And we're concerned about issues like our identity and our gender, and there's a sinister trick that is being played on people today about their identities. And I'm just going to tell you that I was one of these people. I mean, I didn't consider being, changing my gender. There are a lot of confusing times when you're a teenager. You're figuring out your sexuality, your identity. It's confusing, but I'm just going to tell you, if you're considering a sex change, it's no going back. It's no going back. You may think that it's going to solve your problems, but I'm just going to tell you, it's not physical. Your problem is not physical. And it's nothing wrong with you either. There is simply something that hasn't been allowed into your being. Your soul. The love of who you are. Perhaps it is a serious spirit of rejection over you. But you're so loved. You are unbelievably loved. And it's seldom reflected in any of the people around you. I couldn't imagine. I would be dead. I know that I would be dead. Because if I relied on the other people around me to show me the love of the Father, our Creator, Yahweh, Mother, Father, the Spirit, and Jesus Christ, if I relied on other people to give me that, I would be dead. There is nothing about a physical change that is going to help you feel that. But that love is there. That love is there. If your heart is beating, whoever you are, wherever you are, if that heart is beating, that love is your inheritance. You can sit and you can feel it. And you can let all of these issues swirling around your head, the confusion, the rejection, all of it, all of your cares of the world, whether it be what we consider normal cares, money, work, stress, we think it's normal. But when we set all of that aside and we feel that love that is our inheritance, our current present reality, we shift. We shift our mindset. We say, I am enough. And It's not because of ourselves. It's not because of our significant other or our children. There's something deep in our soul that yearns for something that only our Creator knows He can give us. And so I really thank you for watching this video. I really do know how we can start to change our ways so that we can have a country that our children are happy to inherit. We have to have a nation that our children are happy to inherit. And I need to continue this dialogue. I'm going to end the video right now, but I'm going to create more for sure. Please subscribe, like, if you enjoyed, stick around, because we need to connect. If this message resonated with you, we need to connect, because this message is not for everybody. I know it's not for everybody. This is a message from my heart to yours. Yes. Thank you so much. Be blessed. Good night.